Both teams have just come off some fairly convincing wins in the round of 32. Wagon Blue beat Extinction 15-7, and the Incredible Hucks beat Ikigai Enso 15-6. So fairly convincing wins. I think this is going to be a tighter game than both of those two, and I'm really excited to see the game progress.
It's a must-win for either one of these teams if they want to progress. If you don't, you're out from the championship. So a lot's at stake today.
That's right. I think a couple of factors are going to come to play here. I think fatigue will perhaps, or managing fatigue is important. We're getting each of these teams has played at least 4 games, possibly 5. So that can put some slowness into the legs, and we'll see which team comes out firing strongest and can hold that through the rest of the game.
So for those following on at home, we've sort of got a downwind, upwind field. So pool's been thrown downfield.
That's right. The pool's gone up to Wagon Blue receiving. That's Chris Lavis with the disc across to Matt Howarth. Zone being played straight away by Incredible Hucks. Let's see what Wagon does against it. Patient at the moment. Nice around throw from Robbie. Swing to Chris Lavis. There goes the throw to the sideline, just inside there. Nice throw. Oh, just in front of the end zone by Robbie. Catch, walks back to the front of the end zone line.
Nice and calm.
Dumps it back off to Chris Lavis. Still holding that zone, Incredible Hucks. Across to Matt Howarth, center of the field. Ivanovici looks to throw through, nice fake. Gonna give Hassel on the mark there, nice and calm by Ariel. Matt's holding the disc here, looking for some cuts. Nice by Robbie through the cup. Back to Ariel, fakes the round. Chris Lavis. Oh, a bit of a miscommunication. There we go, and the first turnover of the game, forced by the Incredible Hucks.
Yeah, that was nice, patient defense there, and Wagon were doing some nice, patient offense. Just couldn't hold on to it.
I believe a timeout's been called here.
Timeout.
That's correct. Early timeout, unusual.
2 minutes into the game.
Bit of confusion as to what's going on. We'll let you know at home once we know what's going on.
I think there's a little bit of confusion as to whether the timeout can be called. The game's been going for about 3 minutes, so there's just a little bit of discussion on field at the moment. There seems to be a bit of a gender, the incorrect gender. So we've just seen there number 99 switching with number 11, Vivian Lim. Yep, so we've just got confirmation that there was gender issue. That Incredible Hucks were playing 4 men when the actual call was 4 women.
Can happen sometimes in mixed ultimate. It's can be difficult to figure out what the gender split is, but they've worked it out now, and turnover stands. And here we go. We're on offense now with the Incredible Hucks. Patient play with the handlers here. Back in the middle of the field. This is good defense, good shutdown defense from Wagon Blue. Or let that one out there.
They've had 4 or 5 passes, but they haven't really progressed much from the field, either vertically or horizontally.
That's right. They're just getting some small gains up the open side here. Another gain at the open side. Oh, there's a call.
Pick called?
Pick called upfield. So play will stop. I think it stays with the thrower.
Where did that pick happen? Just downfield in the stack there.
Close mark by Chris Lavis. Throws the Huck. Nice around. It's going to fade. No, a bit too far for the receiver there. So Wagon Blue get the disc back. I think there might be a call on the throw here. There might have been a foul call. Yes, there was a foul call. Players are just discussing it. A reminder, there's no umpires in this game. There are some game advisors which can be called upon, which is what's happening now. So one of the game advisors has been called on.
So the 2 game advisors for this game are Steve Baker and Ash O'Sullivan. So that's Ash O'Sullivan in there at the moment, just confirming and clarifying any rules or questions and offering the perspective if the players ask for it. So it looks like disc will go up.
Disc coming back to the thrower. Because it's a contested foul.
So a contested foul means the disc will come back in at whatever stall count was just uttered. If it was uncontested, the stall count would reset.
Nice break, throw to the handler there. Oh, it's a bit high. And caught by Robbie. Quick up the line throw. That's a great layout. Just outside of the end zone by Howarth. There's another stoppage. Oh, it's been called a goal. The goal has been called. I thought it was close, and the incredible Hucks player, I think, has done some good spirit there and called the player in. So that's a goal to Wagon Blue.
What a great first point. 6 minutes of play out there, hot conditions. Disc went back and forth, up the field, down the field. There's a few turnovers. I think this game's going to be one to watch.
Yeah, if the rest of the game's anything to go by, the same as that point, it's going to be a great game.
Wagon Blues seem to have a little bit more height on their side today. So that may help with some of the wind conditions. When discs go up, they may have that height advantage to bring it down, which is what we saw with Robbie grabbing the disc off the ultimate Hucks.
That's right, yeah, it can make a difference, especially if there's a bit of wind, a bit of disc float. So yeah, can be a game changer. Okay, we've got Ryan Davey with the disc here. Just marshalling the troops. Pull goes up. Bit of an inside-out backhand there. Nice floating pull. Gives time for the defenders to run up and try and block that first throw, which is what happens. Great run down. But they worked it out, moved it up. Some good defense here by Wagon Blue, shutting down, back to a handler. Swung across to the middle of the field. Is it called a pick? So again, that's an accidental obstruction on the defensive player. This goes back to the thrower, or stays with the thrower. Nice throw there towards the sideline. Another throw, another call, could be a pick. Yes, pick's been called. Quite a lot of picks early in this game. What do you think's going on?
Yeah, I think both teams are just still settling into it, getting into their rhythm and the flow. When you're out there on a field, it can be a little stressful, especially when you're playing a knockout game.
Nice downfield throw there. A nice gainer. Back to the handler. Oh, the Huck goes up. Here we go. Ryan Davies there. Gets the grab. Great read by Ryan Davey. Wagon Blue now on offense. Danielle, middle of the field, throws a nice upfield throw. Nice break backhand to middle of the field. Straight across. This is great flow from Wagon Blue to Liam Heather. Oh, nice throw. Oh, unlucky. Just too far in front of Irene.
It's got a bit gusty for those playing at home. There seems to be an undercurrent of wind, with the occasional gust here and there. So it'll be interesting to see how players adjust their playing style to account for the weather conditions.
That's right. Wind has got up since this morning. So a bit of a thrower's breeze, as they say.
You might be able to hear it a bit on the mics.
There you go. Floats up. That was because of the wind. Oh, but there was some player there picking up the scraps for the incredible Hucks. This goes up. Again, floats. Oh, and again, someone there picking up the scraps. Wow.
Great job by Incredible Hucks. You know, one of the important things when you've got a little bit of wind here is that the throws don't go exactly where you want. So you've got to be there under the disc and really want to bring that down and just have a bit more field awareness around you.
That's right, yeah, definitely. When the wind's up, a bit more field awareness from both teams, especially on offense. You know that there might be some errant throws or some slight missed grabs, so you've got to be aware the whole time. That's for both offense and defense.
So Incredible Hucks beat Ikigai Enzo 15-6 in the last game to qualify here for the round of 16. And Wagon Blue beat Extinction 15-7. So very similar sort of score lines for both teams. So it'll be good to see how they both come under the pressure of playing a tight game where there's a few breaks.
Okay, Huck goes up by Incredible Hucks. Flat, but sort of floats. Ivanovici to pick up. Throws to Chris Levis. Zone again being played here by the Incredible Hucks. Wilson to Levis. Just working it through here on the open side. Now goes for the Huck. To Robbie in the end zone, and yes, grabs it.
Chris Levis to Robbie
Pukalis.
That's
right. Robbie had a bit of height advantage there, but still had to catch it and executed well. So that's 2-1 to Wagon Blue.
They've got to be happy with that. That was a fairly quick point, and they managed to get through that cup fairly easily. Once they had Chris Lavis on the sideline there, that was just a beautiful backhand huck. Nice little bit of outside in. Managed to just pull it down beautifully. What do you think Incredible Hucks need to do to tighten up their zone there?
I think they're still working it out. That point was Wagon Blue worked through it a lot easier than the first point. They may try and play it again one more time, see what happens. But yeah, you're right. That was a fairly easy offensive point against the zone by Wagon Blue. Let's see what they do now coming out on defense.
You might notice that there seems to be a discrepancy with some of the uniforms out there for Wagon Blue. I think they had a little bit of a blunder with their uniform provider prior to this game.
It's always unfortunate when that happens. Okay, disc goes up. Incredible Hucks, a couple of passes amongst the handlers there to advance the disc. Looks like Wagon Blue are playing a bit of a zone of their own here.
Looks like a little bit of... looks like it's transitioning to match.
Incredible Hucks being patient with the disc here. Finding a handler, nice throw, advancing the disc there. Open side, advancement, back into the middle of the field, close to their attacking end zone now, the Incredible Hucks. Nice short throws. Oh, someone flying through there with a D.
Blake Waitstaff.
Great D.
Wagstaff.
Here we go, and then he runs deep and gets the thrown by Chris Levis. Here we go, and he's got it. Just in front of the attacking end zone for Wagon Blue.
And players are running streep.
Oh, and a catch by Kiara Black in the end zone. That was a great hug by Chris Levis, preceded by a great defensive block by Blake, and then just running deep, and Chris throws it up to him.
That's the first break for the game.
That's right, 3-1 to Wagon Blue.
That was some beautiful play there, and I think Wagon made the most of some quick movement after the initial turnover, which when you have an initial turnover, there's always some confusion around the disc. Which allowed players to stream deep.
That's right. I think after a turnover, there's always two ways you can go. You can play quickly straight away, which was what Chris Levis did there, and also Blake. And the other way is to, if it's not on, just to stay calm and reset, and then reset your structures. So it's knowing when you get a turnover on defense, knowing when to run and gun or go for it straight away, or just to calm down and take it easy. So that was some great decision making. Okay, let's see if Wagon Blue come out with that zone again, that transition zone. Howarth with the pull. Backhand just fading to the far side. Good amount of distance though. Hucks advancing the disc there. Looks like going back to match now, Wagon Blue. Oh, and a bit of a fumble there by an incredible Hucks player. Wilson with the disc to Heather. Looking for Ivanovici. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, unlucky. The throw just a little bit too hard there. Tough catch. So turnover, and Hucks advancing this very quickly. Here we go. So the sideline, throws it a big around. Can she get there? Oh, great bid, but just in front of her. Great bid by the incredible Hucks player there. Unfortunately, just out of her reach.
When we turn around, we can name her. Number 55, Kendall Lane. She played with the Platypi over at the Beach Championships, Asian Oceanic Beach Championship, and I believe her parents are watching. So shout out to Kendall's parents watching at home. You've got to be pretty proud of that bid.
Now, I think there might have been a foul or a call here, and Wilson dropped the disc. The turnover is staying though. So incredible Hucks are now on offense again. And throw goes up to the open side, into the end zone. And a great grab there by James Lamb from the incredible Hucks. Fantastic quick play. Oh, there's been another call.
So I think there's a bit of confusion as to whether the disc was checked in, whether some of the defensive players don't seem to have been ready for that play. This is just what I'm reading. But some of the rules for Ultimate is that whoever's on that disc, if they check that disc in, regardless of whether their team is ready or not, that disc is live. So it's always really important for whoever's checking in, the defensive player checking in that disc, to check with your team to see if they are ready and about to start playing.
I think the confusion also is that the players are confused if that was an actual stoppage or not. I think the player, Sturt Wilson on the mark, just played on, whereas other people thought it was a stoppage. Game advisors here just trying to clarify what happened. Game advisors have been busy so far.
Yes, it's I guess this is one of the joys of playing a self-refereed sport. Looks like the disc is coming back. That won't be ruled a goal.
I think it's one of those ones where shouldn't have been a stoppage. However, people did stop, and it's been ruled that should have been a stoppage, and play will come back to the thrower.
I mean, a lot's at stake here. So it's good that they could have that discussion fairly level-headed and, come to a conclusion in a short time frame.
Okay, here we go. Disc is coming in here by Chris Djordjevic. Nice mark by Sturt Wilson. Lie on the disc here, looking for a handler.
She's one of the under-16 players on Incredible Hucks.
Djordjevic into the end zone. That's a great throw. And a great catch.
That means score is 3-2.
And that score was scored by Daryl Concepcion. And it's 3-2. So Incredible Hucks hold. And it's a close game. Great game.
It is. There's only one break in it. Incredible Hucks have quite a number of young talent on their team. We have keep an eye out for number 3, number 9, number 10. They're all under 16 players. So,
wow.
Still at high school and out here competing at this high level. It's fantastic to see the development that's coming through in this team.
That's right. And that's what also Div 2 is all about. It's often getting blooding players in high-level tournament play at an early age. And when you're that age, you're going to be learning a lot, and you've got a hopefully long ultimate career ahead of you.
So the camera shot is on their number 99, Tiger. He is the Japanese import for this team. He's come across, so I've heard, this is what they've said, and he's playing along with them. His English isn't that great, so they've got a translator on the team as well, but just goes to show that ultimate transcends.
Oh, big huck by Ryan Davies. Good read. Just in front of the end zone. Looking for a dump to Chris Lavis, always there on the dump. Throws it down, yes, and that is Kiara Black for the score.
That's her second point for this game. Fantastic work. She's a dominant force there for Wagon Blue, just seems to be always ready for the disc.
That's right, and what I'm noticing from Wagon Blue is their ability in their first few offensive points really to be able to play different styles. So they've had a couple of points where big long hucks have gone up, other points where they've just played patiently when the opposition's been playing a zone defense. So that's a mark of a team that's able to adapt and think through different strategies depending on what the opposition's throwing at them.
So this point here is 3 women, 4 men.
Yes, a reminder that the gender does change every 2 points in terms of the split. So you have 2 points where you'll have 4 women, 3 men, followed by 2 points of 4 men, then 3 women. Okay, pull goes up here by Chris Lavis into the wind. Good pull, just fading across to the far sideline there, but some good hang time. Stays in the field.
Quite an aggressive mark there by Wagon Blue.
Oh, good grab by the Incredible Hucks player there. Throws across to, very close on the D there, Blake. Very low throw, that's a great grab there.
It was a low flat throw, and he got under there, got that control.
Lucas Yu, great grab.
One of the captains for Incredible Hucks. But seems like there may have been a pick call, and disc is going back to the thrower. It just gives you a chance to see how Incredible Hucks are set up. They've got quite a deep vert stat.
Nice undercut there by Alyssa. Oh, short upfield throw to the handler. Big huck going upfield to Lucas. And that's a fantastic throw by Chris Jordovic to Lucas Yu. Great throw, great play by Incredible Hucks there.
So I think that's the second assist that Chris Jordovic has got for Incredible Hucks. So he seems to be one of their standout players, one of the more dominant players that hopefully Wagon Blue are recognising and will be aware of when he's got the disc. A little pre-game, I went and had a chat with the Incredible Hucks, and they did say to watch out for his ambidextrous, and he loves the odd hammer here or there. But I haven't seen any hammers come out, so we'll have to watch out for them throughout the game.
I'll definitely be watching out for throwing off of both hands. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so score is 4-3 to Wagon Blue, as predicted. Pretty close game.
Pretty close game. Only one break in it at the moment. Don't ask us what's going on there because we're not sure.
Okay, huck goes up by Incredible Hucks. So the pull goes up. Ryan Davies receiving there with his sunglasses. Across the Gen Horn. Nice sideways cut there by Liam Heather out of a Horo. Robbie gets a disc. Loves throwing that forehand to Danielle in the end zone. Reads it really well. Good body position. Just takes it high. Tough to stop that, get around that player. Well done, Danielle.
Oh, that's a great hold for Wagon Blue. A nice quick point there. Get it over and done with. Easy hold, nice offense.
So the long game's been working very well at the moment for Pie Wagon Blue. I guess they're going to keep looking for that. Keep cutting for that because.
What do Incredible Hucks need to do to shut down that long game?
I'd say they need a couple of things. They could be closer on the mark, so putting more pressure on the thrower. Also looking out for if you're the deepest defensive player in that up the field, you could probably help out deep or make sure you're setting up deep of your player. Just play around with your positioning, I think, would be useful thing to do there.
Danielle Alexander is one of the fastest women in. Danielle Adams is one of the fastest women in Newcastle Ultimate. She is probably one of the fastest women at Newcastle University. She won a Julio competition there at the university earlier this year.
Okay, deep pull there by Pie Wagon Blue. Sees Incredible Hucks at the front of their end zone. On the defensive end zone, back to the handler there inside their own end zone. Good downfield pressure here from Pie Wagon Blue. This goes out there, has to be right on the sideline to beat the defensive pressure. Nice around dump there by Kendall Lane. I think we might have seen an ambidextrous throw there by Djordjevic for those playing at home. Throwing with his other hand. Back to Djordjevic. And then now the Huck goes up. And that's a great read. Goes in the middle of the field. There was some great pressure there by Pie Wagon Blue, and then that one Huck came out, and it's looking a bit better now for the Incredible Hucks. Okay, a round throw to the other handler. Oh, great grab by Djordjevic. It's a good mark by Wilson. Oh, just picked it up off the ground there.
Yeah, Pie Wagon Blue seems to have kept this pressure on the sideline. They haven't really got it off. They've progressed it downfield, but it's very much the plays happening down this sideline.
Back to Djordjevic, fairly important player on this point, getting every second pass. Throws the hammer, here we go. And for the score, great hammer. It's a great play there by Djordjevic. He got almost every second pass in the latter half of that point, and then had the vision to see a teammate on the break side and had no fear in throwing that hammer. So it is now 5-4, Pie Wagon Blue.
I guess that's why you've got Bruce Hammer on your T-shirt with hammers like that.
That's right. You've got to walk the walk when you have that on the back.
I mean, it's a great asset having a hammer in the ultimate game. It opens up that break space and just is a really effective throw if it can come off. You've got to have that pinpoint accuracy though, because the disc doesn't sit as well as a nice polite throw. So gender here is 3 women, 4 men. Score is 5-4. Incredible Hucks are 1 break down, or should I say Pie Wagon Blue are 1 break up.
Okay, Hucks are ready. Pull goes up.
Looks like it
Being
was
signaled out there.
Wind's just picked up a little bit. There's a bit of a gust here, so let's see how Pie Wagon Blue adjusts to that.
Brick has been called there by Howarth. Oh, it's a nice upfield cut, and then back by Chris Lavis, making a lot of ground. Goes for the Huck up the line towards Liam Heather. And that is a fantastic throw at a high stall count and a good grab by Liam Heather. 6-4, Pie Wagon Blue.
Yeah, that's another big throw coming from Pie Wagon that gains them distance or straight into the end zone. So fantastic work by Pie Wagon Blue. They're they've got a strategy that is working, and they're keeping with it. It's great to see the different receivers coming out there as well. It seems like quite a well-balanced team that, you know, we've had quite a few different people score the goals.
What do you expect to see from Wagon Blue on defense in this point?
I mean, I think it would be great to see what their zone's made of, see if they can chuck a little bit of a zone on and see how Ultimate Hucks respond to that.
Yeah, that's right. I think they did play a zone for one of the earlier points in the game, a transition, and it caused a bit of confusion when they transitioned to match. So let's see what happens here. Okay, Ryan Davies, the bespectacled Ryan Davies with the pull. Nice hang time. Just holds in the wind. And the incredible Hucks here. Pick the disc up. Nice pick up. That's difficult catch there. And again, up the field. No, didn't like that throw. Patient play there. Well done. Just working it up the open side here. Incredible Hucks. And again, Djordjevic back to do the handling duties. Pick has been called upfield. Disc will be called back in when the pick occurred. Deep stack again here by the incredible Hucks.
There's another pick call.
Another pick upfield.
So how do you clean up a stack so that picks don't happen?
Well, getting a well stretched out stack can often reduce the chance of picks. However, Incredible Hucks playing a fairly deep stack, so it's kind of compressed up the field, and it's a higher chance of picks occurring. It's good dump defense there by the Wagon Blue players.
They looked for the hammer.
Back to Djordjevic, fakes the hammer. Oh, and a great run through block there by Ryan Davey. Saw that coming, just stuck out a big mitt. And I think that was a foul on the throw. No. Uncontested foul from the hand signals by a Wagon player there. Disc will be checked back in. Robbie throws across to Leanne King to Wilson. Fakes the forehand, fakes the backhand. Comes back around for the backhand to Davey. Goes for the big break throw, Huck towards Leanne. Lucas comes through with the D. Great D.
What a D.
Actually had a bit more time than he thought there, but he didn't know that. He couldn't see what we saw. He had a lot more time. The player behind him wasn't going to get that disc.
So we look at the replay here. Nice layout bid. Form, you know, something to be there. But, you know, he's getting out there, getting dirty. He got that block.
Great play, Lucas.
He's one of the captains for Incredible Hucks. A former, played over in Japan for the Asian Oceanic Ultimate Beach Championships for the Reef Sharks.
I find a lot of beach players like hitting the ground. They do it a lot in beach, and they transfer that form onto the grass. Okay, round throw by Djordjevic. Moving outfield fairly easily at the moment. Now they're held. Back to Djordjevic. Sturt Wilson here, being a bit of a pest on the mark. Gets it under the hands of Sturt Wilson. Again, this very close to the sideline. Lamb with the disc. Trying to get it off. Gets it off there. Kendall Lane with the disc. Back to Djordjevic. I feel like they need to perhaps play a bit more on the break side if they can. As the Huck goes up, here we go. Great Huck. Djordjevic saw his player. That's a fantastic Huck and a score for the Incredible Hucks.
What I've noticed about the Incredible Hucks offense is they're really playing within maybe 5 meters of this sideline. Their dump passes are, you know, maybe 1 or 2 meters away from where the disc is, but it's working for them. They seem to be progressing that disc consistently down this open side. Wagon Blue are doing a good job at denying that really big round throw.
That's right. So it's teams adjusting to each other's play here. Incredible Hucks obviously being denied these easy throws around to the break side. The wind's also making it harder to throw those throws. It'll pop up, going from left to right. And Incredible Hucks just adjusting, trying to play a bit of small ball, bit of squirrely play there with the handlers, and then waiting for their opportunity, like we saw there, for the huck and the score.
So for those coming, watching at home, the wind sort of changed direction. It's coming now towards this closer sideline.
Huck goes up. Sorry, Paul goes up by the Incredible Hucks. Rolls out. No, I think that's going to be a brick. Yes, that landed out. So Ivanovici will come in to restart play at the brick mark. Early cutting by Chris Lavis here. Nice cutting upfield and then back. Throws the huck. Here we go. He's been doing this all game so far to Danielle Adams for the score.
Great grab again.
That is at least 3 from 3 there from Chris Lavis with that nice upfield forehand hucks, and he'll keep throwing them if they keep on working. He'll keep throwing them.
I think that was great connection there. It looks like Adams is just waiting for Chris Lavis to grab that disc and times her cut off that. I think as a ultimate huck player, there's a few now Wagon Blue players that love running deep, and I think they need to just change their position there and try and force those players under as opposed to deep. So I think that's the second or third goal for Danielle Adams off a big huck. So that hopefully they recognise that and change their strategy there.
Yep, I think that's probably what they will be talking about in this timeout. So timeout has been called.
Is it Huck? No, timeout?
No, it's 7-5 to Wagon Blue. So I think that's what they'll be talking about in that huddle, Millie. The Incredible Hucks. I think they'll be talking about playing a bit smarter defense, having a few more calls when there's a couple of throwers on Wagon Blue that like to throw it. One, Chris Lavis, we've just seen. So perhaps a few more, a bit more of a heads-up play when a player like Chris has the disc. Just being a bit more conservative or careful about those downfield receivers.
Especially as this game progresses, it's 28 degrees out there, and although that sounds like optimal playing conditions, we're just coming out the back of winter, and a lot of these players coming from Incredible Hucks coming from Sydney, Wagon Blue coming from Newcastle, this is a bit warmer than the temperatures that they've been playing in the last couple of months. Playing and also training. A lot of teams will train in the evening, so it's a bit cooler. It's hard to get a sort of an afternoon training in. So Wagon Blue want to keep doing what they're doing, having quick offensive points and really dragging it out on D. And as for Incredible Hucks, I think they really want to drag out those O points as long as possible and shut down that long game.
Yep, I think so. I think they want to make Wagon Blue a bit more tired, play a few more longer points on offense, so we don't have those nice quick throws, quick points. Okay, so let's see if Incredible Hucks can hold this offensive point, or whether Wagon Blue can get the break and take half.
So disc goes up by Davies, and Incredible Hucks are centering it. A couple of quick passes down the field to gain some distance. It just seems a bit stagnant from the stack there.
Oh, hand block. Oh, but a great pick-up grab by Djordjevic. No, it's a foul that's been called. Yeah, so that was a fantastic picking up the scraps there by Djordjevic, but I think it was a foul anyway. So even if he uncontested foul, but even if that would have been that just hit the ground, it would have come back to the thrower. Okay, we're back in play. Djordjevic pretty much bossing the play from the handler position here at the moment. key to the offensive strategy from the Incredible Hucks.
Looking for Djordjevic again.
Gets it back there. Again on the sideline. Looks to throw the inside. Comes back in. Open side. Throw up the field. In play to Lai. Looking back for Djordjevic. Again, keeping Incredible Hucks on this sideline here. There we go. Oh, nice defensive pressure. And there's a call by Heather on the mark.
Stall out called by
Heather. Djordjevic just discussing with him whether he got the disc off before Heather said the T of 10. I think it's a contested stall out. Good hand signals there by Heather. This will come back in on 8. Djordjevic throws a nice, easy dump pass upfield. Oh. Again, just short ball play here by the Incredible Hucks. Now we get the swing across to the middle of the field. Oh, that is a fantastic pick up there by Alyssa. Very hard, off her toes, very close to the end zone here, and gets it back. Oh, it scores! Fantastic play there by number 3, Alyssa.
Another one of the under 16 players here on Incredible Hucks. Fantastic effort, getting down and dirty, getting that disc, and then retreating back for the score.
That's right.
Incredible Hucks seem very comfortable with playing within that close sideline.
I think it's a good matchup because Wagon Blue they're doing what they want. They're holding Incredible Hucks on this near sideline. It is hard to swing it across into that wind.
There we go. We're just seeing the great bid where she got her fingers underneath the disc and got control before it touched the ground.
And then just a give and go to score. Simple play.
And I think it was great recognition by I think it's 92 there on Ultimate Hucks. They were cutting into the space, and then she saw that Alyssa had the advantage there and cleared out so that she didn't bring her defender in there.
That's right.
I think it's really important in Ultimate. Yes, you've got your goal scorers, but you've also got people who create that space for those goal scorers.
Okay, pull goes up. It's in the field. Ivanovici to pick up. Across to Howarth. Chris Lavish now. Let's see what happens here. Huck will go up again to Kiara Black. Not quite in the end zone. No. That is in. That is a goal. Just inside the end zone.
There seems to be a bit of confusion here as to whether she was in the end zone.
Goal has been signalled. Great play. So Wagon Blue take half again from another forehand huck by Chris Lavis to one of the female receivers. I think that's been the feature of that first half for me, for Wagon Blue offense.
Yeah, Incredible Hucks hopefully will realise this and apply a bit of a defensive pressure in maybe more of a straight up force might stop that that forehand huck, whether backhand force would assist there. Also some recognition from whoever is marking deepest in the stack, or those particular receivers that we've seen consistently scoring goals. And Kiara Black and Danielle Adams seem to be two of those major goal scorers for Wagon Blue.
To be fair to the Incredible Huck player there, Jen Nguyen, she was marking pretty close, pretty hard defense. It just did the Wagon player just read the disc a little bit earlier, so was in position to grab it, and luckily for her, she was in the end zone for the score. So that's half time. Wagon Blue 8, Incredible Huck 6. Okay, welcome back to the second half of the round of 32 game between the incredible Hucks here in white and Wagon blue in the dark shirts. The just one break of score in the first half. Wagon blue getting a break, and they are leading by 2 points. They're coming out on defense on the left-hand side of your screens there, and incredible Hucks will be receiving 6-8 down on the right-hand side.
Yes, it was a great first half. We saw some great bids, some great throws. It'll be interesting. We saw from Wagon Blue, Chris Lavis was quite dominant with that disc, and they scored quite a number of times off his forehand huck to a receiver in the end zone. So it'll be interesting to see how incredible Hucks come down, whether they can stop that.
That's right, and on the incredible Hucks side, on their offensive line, Chris Djordjevic being an integral player on their offensive set. Different kind of role to the Chris counterpart on Wagon. Chris Djordjevic getting a lot of short passes, every other pass, and just sort of dictating play, catching the pull here.
Djordjevic catches the pull, Ryan Davey pull. Centers it there. Disc is turned over. No, just a bit too misconnection there between the thrower and the receiver. Ryan Davey picks up the disc, looking for a nice throw. And, great bid by Robbie into the end zone for a goal. That was Liam Heather to Robbie for the first point of the second half. So Wagon 9, incredible Hucks 6.
Wagon Blue will be very happy about that. It's always good to get the first point after half, even better when you are starting on defense and you get the break. So that is a great start of the second half by Wagon Blue. Incredible Hucks will be disappointed that they let that one go fairly easily.
It looked like there was an almost block there by incredible Hucks. Does it look like Djordjevic that almost got a run-through block, but timing, the throw was just timed perfectly.
And it wasn't an easy catch. Those ones are hard. Robbie Pakalis had to make up some ground there and make sure of it. So yeah, great catch. Wagon are now 3 points to the good to the incredible Hucks. Okay, let's see what defense Wagon Blue bring out here. Whether they just play that high pressure match defense, or whether they switch it up, bring back that transition zone.
4 women this point, and pull goes up by Matt Howarth. Lands in the field and rolled, but picked up by Djordjevic. Centered, a bit of movement up here into the field, but just a little bit overthrown, but picked up by 92 on incredible Hucks. Looking for Djordjevic again. He's playing a pivotal role. Beautiful huck. Just couldn't quite get there. Just didn't sit quite enough for the receivers to run onto, and it was good defense there by Wagstaff.
Yeah, good pressure by Blake there. Just did enough. He's a big body. Just got in the on the eye line of Lucas Zhu there and did enough to force a turnover.
Disc is picked up by Howarth. To Wagstaff in the centre of the field, about at the brick mark. Some great defensive pressure there by incredible Hucks on the field. There we got Wilson in the middle with the disc. Ivanovic in the middle. We got King with the disc, Black with the disc on the side of the field, on the open side. We got Sturt on the sideline. Sanders, a great bid by King, just gets right under that disc, right to the break side. King being dominant here in the handler space. Howarth, Wagon looked pretty comfortable out here just swinging the disc. There seems to be a player down and injury called.
That's correct. I think it might be Irene.
Irene Hui. Looks like that maybe she hurt her ankle or got cleated or something like that. Looks like there's a foul called, injury. Got stomped on is the official ruling from the sideline here.
Can be pretty painful depending on where you got hit. Yep, she's going off now. She looks okay. Just gonna take precaution there to make sure everything's all right. And the player who's coming on
is Sasha Brook.
Sasha Brook.
Yes, I'm sure many Ultimate players have lost a toenail or two to a good stomping or cleating on the field. Howarth with the disc, looks for Blackstone.
Oh, great intercept there by Lucas. He got up high.
We got Tiger, number 99, the Japanese import with the disc, but Djordjevic has got the disc back again. Centres it onto Kendall Lane, who parents are watching at home. Quite an active mark there by Wagon Blue. Djordjevic back with the disc. Pick is called.
Again, another pick. Been a bit of a flavour of the game, the picks here in this game. That's all right, that happens sometimes.
Play will resume. Seems like there's a bit of stagnant movement here. And there's a turn by Sturt Wilson. High stall count. Gets a high block. Turn outside of the end zone for Wagon Blue.
Another pick being called a few seconds ago. Play will reset. Players will go back when the pick was called.
Looks like it's coming in on 3. Disc is going to come in on 3. King tries to keep the disc in, but not quite able to. That's a great turn for Incredible Hucks.
That's an important turn, I think. If they let that goal in, that would have been 4 points down, and now they take a timeout.
Timeout called. It'll be interesting to see how they come out of this, both Incredible Hucks and Wagon Blue, whether they'll change their strategy. It's good to see Incredible Hucks over there on the far sideline. It's a little bit of unfamiliar territory over there with all that space in the open side.
Yeah, I think this is turning into a fairly important point. If Wagon had scored that goal, they would have been 4 points ahead, and it would be starting to get difficult for the way the game's going, the sort of even back and forth, the trading to pull that back. But now, if Incredible Hucks score this point, they're still just two points down, and they're still in the game. So pretty important point.
Clever use of timeout. It is pretty warm out there, and those players have been playing for a number of minutes out there on the field. So timeout just to recap, regroup, get some new strategy, and hydrate. It's important to stay cool and hydrated out there. Incredible Hucks finished 7th at Nationals last year, and their aim of this tournament is to try and beat that. So they really want to win this game to go into the round of 8, and so that they can hopefully beat that 7th place.
That's right. Yep, they're going to need to win this game to get into the top 8. So bit of motivation there to beat last year's result.
So coming in off the timeout, Djordjevic with the disc, looking for the Huck. Wagstaff's allowed to makes that. Looks like he made a little bit of contact there, but there's no call. So that's a turn for Wagon Blue. So we watch the replay here. Disc is centered to King. Dropped by Wagon Blue. And Ivanovic picks up on the nearest player, which is the Japanese import Tiger, number 99. And But there's foul call.
Offensive foul on the throw. So Howarth saying there that the Incredible Hucks player used his arm to make space and preventing Howarth from being able to legally try and block the throw.
So if we look at the replay here.
What do you think? Offensive foul?
It looked pretty clean to me, but we'll have to. It's always difficult being in that situation. It's one of my favourite things of Ultimate Frisbee is trying to interpret what the call is from the reenactment of the situation by players.
So I think it's a contested offensive foul.
Contested, yep. 2 fists together means contested.
Hand signal there from the game advisor.
So Djordjevic with the disc and the disc coming in 3. Centres the disc, quick pass and gets the line up the line there. Tiger, number 99. Beautiful back to Djordjevic. Djordjevic with the disc in the centre of the field, maybe 10 metres out of the end zone. Oh, another great bid by Kendall Lane.
Unlucky, just out of her grasp. I'm not sure if she'd have actually caught that, whether she would have been out. Or would have been close. Would have been close, but great attempt by Kendall Lane there. Great to see that.
Shout out to Kendall Lane's parents watching at home. So, Pie Wagon Blue on the far sideline. Looks like there's a call.
Travel called.
Travel called, but disc back with Howarth, close to the end zone line. Disc in on the far sideline. Centers it back to Ivanovic. Up the open side, centered back to Ivanovic. Nice. Whoa.
Great D. Great block there by Alyssa Dua.
I think she used her body space really well there, jumped at the same time, made her player jump. So we've got Djordjevic bringing in the disc on the closest sideline.
It's a call on the play. I think another pick upfield.
How long ago? 2 passes, 2 back? Stall 2,
So play stopped 2 seconds before. So they're just figuring out what the disc is going to come in on at.
We all good? All right, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, and
Bit of a missed throw there, and timeout called by Howarth. So Pie Wagon Blue for the quick intercept there. I don't know, it looked like a bit of a missed throw there from Djordjevic. It just looked like it didn't come off his hand properly.
yeah, I think there was just a bit of a pressure, high stall count. Sturt Wilson is famed for having a good mark. He's been doing that for years, getting hand blocks, just creating pressure. And I think there was just enough pressure created there to make the throw that extra bit harder, and just a misconnect with the Incredible Hucks player.
So this is the second timeout for this point. Quite a crucial point. Both teams really wanting to win.
That's right. We said it a few minutes ago in the same point. It is a crucial point. It's a long point. I think whoever wins this or scores this point will be very happy to get the point.
And you can see that both teams, everybody's come in for these timeout. They're really getting around, making sure everyone's hydrated, because players have been on the field for quite a long time now. So it's in this aspect, sometimes it's the battle of the bodies and the minds to just be consistent and keep playing your game of Frisbee and not be put off by the defense.
That's right. Exactly right. So now we're going to have Wagon Blue coming out with the disc fairly close to their attacking end zone. Let's see how they set up. So from a timeout, the offensive team will set up, and then the defensive team is allowed to take the time and mark who they want, or put on some sort of zone.
So it looks like they're coming out with a vert stack with 3 handlers back. Matt Howarth with the disc. Incredible Hucks with match defense. Disc is in. Centers the disc to Ivanovic. And up to Kiara Black, but great pickup by Tiger. Gets the block and then manages to pull that disc down after tapping the block.
Very important intercept block there. That was going to be a goal for sure.
Tiger to Kendall Lane on the sideline. On the sideline, very familiar territory. Djordjevic, and then they swing it to Kendall Lane again, who gets down on the ground but doesn't manage to pick up the disc.
She is throwing her body around a lot at the moment. Let's see if she can keep it up.
She's really stepped up this second half. She's playing a much more prominent role in the Ultimate Hucks offensive strategy. So disc back to Matt Howarth, but a pick called. So it looks like disc is coming in on 1. Wagon Blue maybe 15 metres outside of the end zone. Centers it to Ivanovic. Ivanovic looking. Back to Matt Howarth. And nice throw to Wagstaff for the score.
Wow, Wagon Blue, they will be very happy to score that long point. Always great to score the long points, and also especially when you started on defense. So they're just getting their noses ahead now, just grinding out that buffer to 4 points.
So that's 4 points in a row. Incredible Hucks haven't scored a point yet. So it'll be interesting for this second half. That kind of, run can be a little frustrating. So it'll be interesting to see how they increase their, use their mental toughness and just play their frisbee and come out with this point. So it looks like looks like it's a 4 women point.
Often difficult to get the gender right after a long point. Trying to figure out what the gender was. So yes, confirmation that it is 4 women, 3 men for both teams. And Incredible Hucks really need to score this point, get their offensive game back on track, and get some pressure onto the Wagon Blue offensive line.
But they're having beautiful, beautiful bids for the disc. They're having some great connections. I think a little bit of fatigue playing in. There's turnovers for both teams. Disc goes up and centered it. Incredible Hucks, great at getting a few passes in before defense gets down there. All right, we're on the away sideline with the disc. Centers it to Lamb. Going up the field with a nice forehand pass. Looking for the dump. Nice defense. Its handler movement's looking really pretty out there. Nice break swing. And disc goes up. Who's going to come down with it? Height wins in the end. We got Chris Lavis with the disc for Wagon Blue.
This time no one deep for him. Has to center it.
Send it to Emma Gearing. Chris Lavis with the disc. Wants to go up to Robbie. Will he get there? Great disc, but is it in? Is it in? That is the question. Robbie comes down with the disc, but what is the ruling?
Both players looking up at the and it's confirmation that the game advisor had some perspective there.
If we have a look here, we can have a look that just toes the line, but he gets some air before he comes down. So correct ruling by game advisors. Great spirit there by Robbie and Wagon Blue. So Incredible Hucks bringing the disc on the end zone. Kendall Lane, again, beautiful grab in the center of the field. Number 36, Benjamin Vo. Forehand Huck doesn't quite go off as you would planned, and turnover for Wagon Blue. So that, you know, it's important to acknowledge the defensive pressure that Wagon Blue are putting on to think that you need to throw that Huck when you see that player open. So good job to Wagon Blue. I think Incredible Hucks just need to centre it, believe in their beautiful dump swing passes.
Yeah, that's right. Just a bit more patience on that final pass, just to be sure that that Huck is on and you have the skill to execute it.
So disc in the far corner of the end zone. Chris Lavis with it. Nice forehand around to Robbie. Seems to be a beautiful connection forming between those two. Chris Lavis with the disc in the field again to Emma Gearing. There's not much option happening for Emma. She throws it up. Ooh, will be turn there. A couple of players go for the disc there, but no contact or fouls were called. All right, Incredible Hucks pick up the disc about 10 metres outside of the end zone. Beautiful up the line cut by the handler there. Number 36, Benjamin Vo. Incredible break throw. Another bid by Kendall Lane.
She's everywhere at the moment, isn't she?
She is. She is playing an important role in Incredible Hucks' offense strategy. She was all by herself there.
Just too far for her. At the back of the end zone. Did her best to try and grab that disc before she went out. Just too far for her.
Jen Hoare bringing the disc up to the end zone line. Wagon Blue coming out of a vert stack. Disc to Danny Adams. Robbie on the sideline here. Disc with Chris Lavis on the sideline. He's looking for it. Up it goes. Familiar pass.
Just too high for Adams there. It's one of the few times that connection hasn't come off. I think the defender did pretty well to just do enough. Get a bit of body in there to make it harder for Adams to grab that disc.
Sometimes it's just enough to put you off your thinking and think about, you know, what the defender's doing as opposed to just purely reading the disc. Okay, we've got Incredible Hucks, and they go up for the Huck. Number 16's underneath it, and he gets the Huck. That was a good gainer for the Incredible Hucks. We've got Benjamin Vo with the throw just outside of the end zone. Just got end zone fever there. Just a quick throwaway that didn't. She saw the player there and just wanted to throw it without thinking about what kind of throw. They'll be disappointed with that.
That would have been a nice hold for Incredible Hucks, but here we go. Wagon Blue with the disc again. Adams, this time comes under for the disc. To Liam Heather. Bit crowded in the middle there, just taking his time, waiting for things to space out again. Jen Hoare here. Nice movement by Wagon to Robbie Pucalis. Danielle making some nice... looks her off, but throws to Liam Heather deep. And the disc just bobbled a bit in the wind there, and I think it made it difficult to judge.
It looked like the disc was going to sit, and then it just came down really quickly there. It was really difficult disc to read.
Just a gust of wind, that's all it took, and just took it out of Heather's hands.
Here we go, Kendall Lane's bid again. She's got to be impressed, especially with parents at home. You've got to be impressed with her performance today.
Okay, Incredible Hucks with the disc. Moves it up nicely to Lane. Dumps it back across to the handler.
Pick called.
I'm liking the last few points. The Incredible Hucks handler's been very dynamic. Lots of movement, lots of upfield aggressive cuts, positive cuts, and I think it's working quite well for them. Here we go. Okay, so bit of hand movement again. Nice cut there, back across the middle of the field.
Nobu to Kendall Lane in the center of the field. Nice backhand to Vo. Vo goes backhand.
Great defense, but
will she get there?
Oh,
that is a great goal for number 22, Shirley Quash. That is fantastic effort by Shirley. You know, one of the reasons why you always catch your D.
That's right, Irene. She got there. She got a good hand to it. Couldn't quite grab it. I'm not sure if she could catch that D. She did all she could, and she must have thought she did enough, and then turned around, and the disc was just flying into the hands of the Shirley Quach. So, yeah.
You might even give her, looking back at the replay there, it looks like she's got the assist into the end zone. That backhand huck may have been just short of the end zone, but that tap in this wind.
That's right. It was almost an assist, and the easiest of catches there. But you got to be there, and you got to read it well. So, well done.
Incredible Huck 6, Pie Wagon Blue 11. Oh, nope. Incredible Huck 7, Pie Wagon Blue 10. I'm
breathless after that point.
Yeah, it was a long point, and I'm very happy that Incredible Hucks. I love a good close game, and both teams really wanting to win that point out there.
Okay, so Pie Wagon Blue are up by 3 on offense. Let's see what defense Incredible Hucks bring to quite a bit of pressure. Okay, so Howarth with the disc here. Sends it to Ivana Vici, makes some ground. A bit further ahead of her than she thought initially, but managed to snaffle the disc. So quick give and go. Davies with the hammer across the Howarth, playing zone defense here. What a great grab by Kiara, fingertips. That's amazing. Back to Ivana Vici, across to Ryan Davey. Throws another hammer across to Howarth. Fakes to Black. And a great grab. Great throw by Howarth to Wagstaff there. Nice,
easy hold for Pie Wagon Blue. They've got to be happy with that. It was a nice, a long grinding point before. So they've got to be happy with that nice, quick offensive point.
I think the whole team needs to thank Kiara Black for keeping that disc alive under pressure from an Incredible Hucks player, and gets it with the. I think it must have been the thumb and the fourth finger. Yeah,
it was like she just plucked it like a guitar string or violin string out of the air there. Fantastic grab for Kiara. You can tell why she's one of the targets in the end zone for Pie Wagon Blue.
Great hands, that's right. Great speed and great hands. Okay, Chris Levis was called on. Comes off, goes on again. Yes, he's on.
He was sitting under here in the shade in the tent with a bit of a red face. That was a really long point before.
Yeah, I think he was happy in the shade, but he was obviously being called on from his teammates.
Chris Lavis with the pull here. Centres back to the middle of the field at about the brick mark, and Pie Wagon Blue are slowly getting their defence on. Tavo. Swing across to the far sideline for number 22. She's looking for Bo.
And just a bit too high. The wind playing a bit of a factor there. Not quite enough spin on that disc, and just popping up. Just fumbled because of the difficult catch by the Incredible Hucks player.
Leanne King with the disc, centers it to Danny Adams. Looking for Matt Keeley. Moderately centered. They're about 10 metres out of the end zone. Oh, Chris Boy, is that in or out? That's a goal for Pie Wagon Blue. Score is 7-12 for Pie Wagon Blue. 7-12.
Chris Davis this time with the goal. Nice cut up the line, and just inside the end zone for the score.
We can see there just the turnover there was some great defensive pressure from Pie Wagon. It's always a bit confronting when you've got a high stall count and you don't have confidence you can get that disc to the dump. It just forces an error there. So that was good job by Wagon defense.
Score's now been corrected on the screen, so just confirmation that Wagon Blue are leading 12-7.
Oh, this is a great game. I'm invested. I want to come back here from Incredible Hucks. I will let everybody know that we are from Newcastle, so have trained with Wagon Blue, but I love a good, great game, and I'm hoping that the Incredible Hucks can bring it back.
Yeah, me too. So Wagon Blue here with the pull. We've got Howarth with the disc here. Let's see what defense they come down with. It's a nice outside in backhand pull. Lands in the field. Number 29.
Djordjevic.
That's right. Upfield. Good pass. Djordjevic looking for the dump. Robbie's making it hard for him to get it. So some good dump defense. Still gets it around, Djordjevic. So he's been doing that all game.
Interesting, Wagon have switched their defense, forcing Djordjevic backhand as opposed to forehand. So they're really trying to like push him away from this sideline.
Let's see what happens. Howarth on the mark here, putting some pressure on. Gets the breakout, great throw. They're going to swing a bit high, but Lucas just doesn't quite hold on. I'm not sure if that was for him, but he read it quite well, but couldn't quite hold on.
Looked like it was coming in from Louis, number 18, but he was just in better position, but couldn't quite hold on.
Robbie with the hug. It's a tough throw into the breeze, and the disc just turns over, rolls out the far sideline. Disc will be brought back in by Incredible Hucks.
So we've seen a number of forehand Hucks go up from this direction that haven't been completed, the wind affecting that, so turning them into rollers. So Incredible Hucks bringing in the disc on the sideline. Centered it.
Lucas to the disc, gives and goes. Up the line. Great bid, unlucky, just in front of him. Disc just went a bit too far. Great bid by Incredible Hucks player, but just out of reach.
I thought he was going to get there. Howarth with the disc. Centers it to Robbie. Will Jen get that? Just an overthrow there. Fatigue and wind starting to affect both teams a little bit more.
I think she was in two minds there about whether she would jump for the disc or whether she'd let it go, and in the end decided for the latter, and it was just slightly too far. Djordjevic, big hug, big backhand hug. Number 5 in the end zone here. It's going to fade. Great grab. That is a fantastic catch. Good read, just within the back of the end zone.
But there seems to be a call back on the throw here. Whether there's a foul going on. We'll see here on the replay, down in the bottom left-hand corner.
I think it was he's saying he travelled, so he dragged his foot to the outside of the field when he released, and it was enough to give him that extra few centimetres to be able to get past the outstretched hand of Pucalis there.
Similar to other sports such as netball, you aren't allowed to move your pivot foot while you're playing ultimate frisbee. Once that's established, that should remain there. Players using the replay here in the media booth to have a look.
Looks like a little bit of a travel there. Just a foot drag, just enough to give Djordjevic an extra 10-15 centimetres of room.
Game advisor coming up and clarifying his perspective that it was out of bounds.
Everyone happy? All right, disc is coming in 3, 2, 1.
Djordjevic got more of a straight up force on him now. Centers it, swings it across.
It's good, great dump defense, but it gets bailed out by Djordjevic once again. Throws that hammer. Here we go. Good read by Howarth.
It's only the second hammer of his game.
Pucalis with the disc, looking to center it. Nice to Ivanovici. Fatigue playing a bit of a role now, I think. Players, the cuts aren't coming quite as freely as they would. Oh, Pakalis with a big forehand huck into the wind. Oh, and just over the head of both players. It just held enough, but the incredible Hucks player just did enough, got in front of Wagstaff and made it difficult for the catch. Okay, a turnover occurred there. We're just a bit missighted, but it looks like Wagon Blue now have this once again. On their attacking end zone, about 10 meters out on the far side. Oh, Ivanovic now with the hammer. Oh, to Bakalis. Great hammer by Ariel there. Fantastic. And Wagon Blue score. That is 13-7 to the Newcastle team. Bit of a shout out to John Greenfield here. He was playing on this Wagon Blue team. He left before the start of this game. It's his 14-year wedding anniversary. So he's left to celebrate that.
Yes, he's got to be disappointed he can't make the rest of the tournament. One of the powerhouses in Wagon with his big Hucks and 50-year-old body.
Fantastic, yeah. Keep him going. He is lots of experience and imparts that experience and leadership to the Newcastle community.
It's getting hot out there. Players are starting to seek shade in the rest, so it's important to stay hydrated. But I think fatigue will become part of the affect a bit more of the play.
I think we're already seeing it. I think we're seeing both teams. The cuts aren't coming quite as freely or as frequently as they were at the start of the game. So it's just about playing through that and trying to just do that just a bit more than the opposition team.
Pool goes up. I think that's number 50, Jono to Ben. Gets a nice break around to the break side here. Number 92, Shem. Send us back to Lamb.
Call upfield, another pick. Haven't seen one of those for a couple of points. They happened to a point in the first half, but they seem to have worked it out a little bit better, but seeing a pick again there.
Disc coming up to Bo. Oh, nice recognition there for the incredible Huck player. Disc went sailing past everybody, but she had the foresight field awareness to pick it up.
Number 5, Nobu.
Number 23, Vo to Kendall Lane in the middle of the field, about 25 metres out of the end zone. We've got Vo back here playing a pivotal role in this handling space. James Lamb to Nobu.
It's a nice inside-out step forward, nice inside-out flick forehand, and just through the hands of number 23 there.
Yeah, number 23, James Lamb. And this is where you start to see fatigue setting in. You know, catches are a bit harder, throws are a bit harder, decision-making becomes a bit harder. The wind has picked up as well, so there's that extra factor to consider.
Okay, Ryan Davey with a disc to Jen Hoare. Nice flick forehand there to Irene. Quick movement, that's Daniel Adams, some nice upfield gains on the open side. What have we got now? Oh, great grab behind her body by Kiara Black. Just saving the points, the offensive points here for Wagon Blue. Oh, Ryan Davies just miscommunicates with Wilson there. Okay, so there's a turnover.
That's some great defensive pressure on incredible Hucks. You know, Wagon felt they had to get that disc moving quickly. Nobu with the disc. Kendall Lane with the disc on the far sideline. Dumps it back to James. Oh, pick called. Pick called, I think, a couple of passes ago. It was a beautiful breakthrough. It's great to see incredible Hucks are really making the use of the whole space of the field this second half. They've really picked that up.
That's right. I think some of that's from them, from wanting to use that full width of the field, and also maybe just a slight drop off in defensive intensity by Wagon Blue, which is to be expected towards the end of the game.
Up the line to Vo with a forehand Huck in the end zone. Ryan, both go up. And defense, Ryan Davies picking up the disc, and it's a turn for Wagon Blue. Disc is coming in sort of middle of the field in the end zone. And the score is 7-13. Huck goes up looking for Matt Keeley. Ooh. That was interesting defense there. I'm just having a look at it. Looked like there was a bit of contact there, but there was no call.
Yeah, that looked like the player, the Incredible Hucks player was putting a bit too much body in there.
But Vo picked up the disc, and it's a turn. Wagon Blue about 20 metres outside of the end zone with the disc in the centre of the field. Ryan Davies to Matt Keeley.
Just keeps it in yet. Goal has been scored. Nice around break throw. Goal has been signalled by the Incredible Hucks player. However, I think someone asked the game advisor on the sideline, and they think it was slightly out.
We have a look at the replay.
Yes, that's right. It's been called out.
Looks like a little bit like it was on the line. It's a bit hard to see with the sunlight
Maybe
here.
a foot on the line.
Great spirit from Wagon Blue. A turnover down in the end zone for Incredible Hucks. So disc gets centered to Vo, who's looking for the swing, but no one's offering it. Number 23, James Land. There's a bit of pressure because they're in the end zone at the moment. Okay, they're out of the disc goes up into the middle of the field. Oh, great job by Incredible Hucks. Number 92. Kiara Black comes down with that disc, centers it to Wilson, looking for Keeley, who fakes the Huck, and back to Ryan Davies. Back to Wilson. Oh,
hand block.
Great job. Is that Jonathan Lee with the hand block there? We'll find out when the number turns around to us.
James Lamb.
No, James Lamb.
What a hand block.
Great job, James Lamb.
Just anticipating the where Sturt was throwing.
Great dump back to Vo. Looks like the pick was called before the throw. I think the ruling is, did it affect that throw? So I think that's what they'll be discussing right now. If there was a pick called, did it affect the throw? Looks like there's agreement that that pick did not affect that throw, so it's going back to Benjamin Vo. Throws the disc into the ground. Fatigue playing a role here. Turn for Wagon Blue. Ryan Davey picks up that disc. Oh, looks at Danny Adams, and the disc just bounces off her chest. The errors have definitely picked up in this second half.
I think that's a couple of things, the wind and maybe, just the state of the game we're in. We're towards the end of the game and it's been a long one.
James Land picking up that disc, centering it to Kendall Lane, who's looking. Back to James Lamb. Pick called. Another pick called. Looks like he gets to keep the disc and play will resume as is.
Wind's definitely picking up.
Oh, what a bid by Nobu. Just couldn't quite get there. Incredible Hucks are definitely putting their bodies on the line. You can see that they want this disc.
That's right, the effort is there. There's no doubt in the effort.
Ryan Davies picking up the disc for Wagon Blue. Goes long.
Oh, great grab. Matt Keeley read that well, just over the head of the defensive Incredible Huck player there.
Well, I think that's third time's a charm. I think that throw Ryan Davies, Matt Keeley, that's the third time, and finally it resulted in a goal.
That's right.
Kiara Black's got to be pretty happy with one of her specky grabs in that.
And that's the end of the game. That was the game point. Wagon Blue take it out 14-7.
Gosh, 94 minutes out there in the sunshine. Incredible Hucks have to be, they'll be disappointed with the result, but they have to be super proud that they kept going and they forced Wagon to not take game to 15, but have time cap.
That's right. It was the first half was a fairly. There's only one break in the first half, and then the second half, although it did feel close, Wagon Blue just did enough to keep inching out that or eking out that score and winning by 7 points in the end. Fairly comfortable.
So Wagon progresses through to the game of 8.
Quarter-final time, Wagon Blue. We'll see you later. This is Chris Folks and Millicent Crow. We're signing off, and stay tuned for the next game.
Alti.tv